At this time, I'd like to call the regular meeting to order. The time now is 7 p.m. Requirements of the Sunshine Law have been met. This meeting was advertised in the Burlington County Times on January 4th of 2019. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I please ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence? We'd like to dedicate this to a West Hampton Township employee, Karen Womack, who suddenly had passed away. She was an employee with us for over 6 years. Thank you. Roll call.
Committeeman De Silva.
Here.
Committeeman Eckert.
Here.
Committeeman Henley.
Here.
Committeewoman Hines. Present. Mayor Wisniewski.
Here. Approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva.
Yes.
Eckert.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. The approval of the minutes, the regular meeting minutes of April 16th, 2019, the closed session minutes of April 16th, 2019, and the workshop meeting minutes, April 16th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva.
Yes.
Eckert.
Abstain.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. Scheduled appointments. Today, we have a proclamation that we would like to present to Miss Nora Dunphy's family. She had recently passed away, and she has been a long-time West Hampton resident. The proclamation reads, "In memoriam of Eleanor Nora Dunphy, whereas Eleanor Nora Dunphy was called to eternal rest with the Lord on Monday, March 25th of 2019 at age of 83. She was a lifelong resident of the village of Rancocas in West Hampton, New Jersey. Whereas Nora Dunphy touched the lives of hundreds of children as headmistress of Rancocas Friends Nursery School, she is still known to for all her tireless efforts in serving the community. Whereas Nora Dunphy was a strong Quaker and was often consulted as an unofficial historian of the town. She was a lifetime member of the Rancocas Friends meeting and an active member of the civic and historical societies. Whereas Nora Dunphy is predeceased by her husband, Marvin, siblings Billy, Ernest, Ruth, Emily, and Margaret. She is survived by her fiancé, Ross Van Ness Bayer, sister Frances Ventola, sister-in-law Missy Janey, brother-in-law Larry Dunphy, son Chip and his wife Kieran, daughter Sarah, and daughter Fran, and her husband Jeff. Whereas Nora Dunphy was also the cherished mom to Shane, Owen, McKenna, Cameron, Hunter, and Alexander. Therefore, I, John Wisniewski, Mayor of Township of West Hampton of Burlington County, New Jersey, do hereby proclaim May 7th, 2019 as a day in memoriam in tribute to the life of Nora Dunphy, given under my hand and the seal of the Township of West Hampton on the 7th day of May in the year of our Lord 2019. Rancocas Friends meeting, and you'll be accepting this on our behalf. Here you go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. And if it's okay, we can take a picture. And Thank
Thank you
very
so much.
And sorry for this. At this time, I will call Resolution 59-19, hire Class 2 police officer effective May 6th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Do I have any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva.
Yes.
Eckert.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. Congratulations. Right now, I will be swearing in Officer Joseph Della Bella. Did I say it right? Yes. Hold on.
Over it.
We have someone here, we have some family that want to come forward. Just have- Is your left hand on the Bible? Get out of everybody's way. I, Joseph Della Bella,
I, Joseph Delabella,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform all the duties of a Class 2 police officer
and justly perform all the duties of Class 2 police officer
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I didn't raise my hand.
Congratulations. That's the last one.
At this time, we'll call for a brief recess of about 5 minutes. Thank you. Giving us the opportunity to take a break. At this time, I will open the floor to the public for comment on agenda items. There being no comment on agenda items, the floor is closed. Resolutions. Resolution 60-19, payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through May 7th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva.
Yes.
Eckert.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 61-19, authorization to read the 2019 budget by title only. This resolution authorizes the budget to be read by title only rather than line by line.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva.
Yes.
Eckert.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 62-19, local examination of budget. This resolution asserts that all conditions have been met to allow the township to locally examine its budget as authorized by the New Jersey Division of Local Government Services.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva,
Yes.
Eckert.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Hines.
yes,
Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 63-19, public hearing of the 2019 municipal budget. This resolution approves the adoption of the municipal budget. The total budget for 2019 is $11,423,979, which reflects a local purpose tax rate of .622 cents. This is an increase of .01 cent, which is an increase of $26.01 per year for the average assessed resident for the year. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Committeeman De Silva. Any discussion? Roll call.
Well, you need to open it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's written in there. At this time, I'll open the floor to the public.
are we going to have a presentation of the budget?
We have presented the budget last meeting.
No, you did not, well, this was apparently the public presentation of the budget. That's how it's written in the resolution.
I don't believe that it's the public hearing, but I don't believe we had presented it, the first and second reading.
Are we coming here with the budget rolled out?
What's that? Yeah,
Oh, I'm asking, like,
no, the last two meetings, Ms. Berkeley, we had, presented it and put the numbers out there, and this is just a public hearing, after they have all the information to review if they have any questions. So at this time, if there is anyone that has any questions or concerns.
Okay, last time you didn't, you just read stuff, you didn't have anything written for us to take. You said if we wanted to, we could contact the administrator.
Give me 1 second, please. Yeah, well, what I would say is, on this issue, I don't recall if there was anything that was given out. I do remember going through it, line by line. Jim, if there's anything that you can help. In this situation, this is just a public hearing. Last meeting, we had gone through line by line. We had presented it to the public, on the first and second reading. This is some,
You just said what we spent money on that we didn't spend last time and things like that.
Yeah, for the budget summary, based off of where the increases and decreases were.
It's hard to digest it when you're listening to it and don't have anything to look at to ask a
Can,
question.
can I make a statement, if you don't mind? Once the budget was introduced, everything was available in our office just for the asking. It's been available for over a month. If you needed anything, you should have just asked us.
Yeah, I know that this is just a public hearing in case anyone had any questions. I think that it would have probably been helpful if we had some printed out. But this is basically just a hearing after we had our presentation and our first and second reading. And there was comment at the last meeting. So, do you have any more questions or comments?
No, I would like to have a copy of what we read last meeting.
Okay, I can get you a copy of the budget summary.
Does that include a review of the budget or just
What's that?
a summary?
Would you like both?
What we read last meeting.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I read basically the budget summary, but we could probably also make a copy of the budget as well.
I don't need that big.
Okay,
I can get a condensed version from the auditor if you want.
There's
You
also
want that?
the user-friendly budget, which will be posted, I think, in the very near future. It'll go at the same time it goes to the state for approval. Once it's approved, the user-friendly. What's that? That's correct.
if we pass it. Are there any other comments from the public? There being no comments, closed for public comment on the budget hearing. Any discussion amongst committee members? There being none, roll call.
De Silva,
Yes.
Eckert,
Yes.
Henley,
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. Resolution 64-19, approved tax appeal settlement, Block 906.07, Lot 4. This resolution extends the original settlement agreement until the end of 2022 at no additional expense to the township and allows the township to raise the assessment, if appropriate, 1 year earlier than the prior agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva,
Yes.
Eckert,
Yes.
Henley,
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. Ordinances. Ordinance 3-2019, bond ordinance. This is the first reading. This bond ordinance provides for the acquisition of various capital equipment and various capital improvements in the amount of $1,452,550 with a down payment of $76,450. Equipment and/or improvements include rescue engine for the West Hampton Township Emergency Services, equipment for the Police Department, a wheel loader for the Public Works Department, reconstruction and/or paving of various township roads. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
De Silva,
Yes.
Eckert,
Yes.
Henley,
Yes.
Hines. Yes. Wisniewski.
Yes. Correspondences, we have a notice of public hearing. The proposed Burlington County Highway Master Plan is May 14, 2019, at 3 p.m. at the Burlington County Engineers Office in Mount Laurel, and the 2019-2020 allocation of equalized valuation. There's the other correspondence. Committee liaison reports. Do we have anything to report on?
No.
No. The rec meeting is tomorrow, so at this moment, I don't have anything additional to report on that we reported on. I'm sorry, I'm a little hoarse. The rec department meeting is until tomorrow, so we don't have anything, I don't have anything additional to report on that's separate from last month. I'm sorry.
I would just like to report that the school board passed their budget last night at the public hearing. And with regard to Timbuktu, I reported a few months ago, they received a grant from the county. Additionally, they've now been selected to receive an award. They received the History Project Award by the county for the interpretive signage recently installed at Timbuktu, and they'll be presented with their award on May 21st.
Thank you. I do not have anything to report on my departments. The dates to remember, we have a May 15th Fallen Officers Memorial in the morning, and the Firefighters Memorial Services in the PM. Is the officers at 10 a.m.? Yes. And the firefighters is at 6? 7? 7 p.m.? Thank you. May 16th is the mock crash at Rancocas Valley Regional High School, and on May 17th, there's a mock crash at Burlington County Institute of Technology that we have our emergency responders and our police going to be involved in. May 19th is the Freedom Ride, the Motorcycle Freedom Ride. June 8th is Nikki's Run and Family Fun Walk, which will be taking place in East Hampton. And also, I believe that we have a member of the American Legion Post 509, Mr. Hayes, if you're okay, you also have another date for us to add to our dates to remember?
Yes, Mayor, Council Committee. My name is Samuel Hayes. I'm with the West Hampton American Legion and the West Hampton Hamlet. Purpose here, one of the purposes tonight is to officially invite the Township Council to our Memorial Day services on May 27th at 10 a.m. And we ask the Mayor, if he so desires, to make a few comments at the ceremony at 10 a.m. on May 27th. And of course, it is open to the general public. Well, we have been. Last year, we rented in the Burlington County Times for 3 days. And our plans this year also to, I don't know how many days, but to put it back in the Burlington County Times. And any advertisement from the township would be greatly appreciated.
Well, we will do our best to promote it, see if we can get more community involvement to come out. It was a very nice service, and hopefully we can get some more residents to come out and pay their respects. So thank you for that. At this time, I'll open the floor to the public for open comment. Ms. Barkley?
Mayor and Council Committee, on April 26th, Rancocas experienced a storm that was as bad as Hurricane Sandy. We were the only ones in the township who have such a storm, and we can't still figure out if it's straight winds or a tornado that came through. But there were two streets that were just devastating, and it happened at 6:15 at night, and within minutes, our fire, police, EMTs, and
Public Works.
Public Works were there. Thankfully, we had 2 fire trucks because one had to close off the wires down on 3rd Street and another on Main Street. One of the trees, which came down, not chopped off the edge of the community center. We were without electricity on my end of town for about 8 hours, and I think Main Street had 3 days, 2 or 3 days of no electricity. But the people that came out to make sure we were safe, and I watched all night one of the fire vehicles up and down the street to make sure everything was okay. Actually stopped me and said, "Do you need anything?" And I think that is the exemplary service that we get from them is just amazing. And then I fortunately had my dog that I come chop all my branches. There were many, and I put them on the side. And on Monday morning at 8:30, Public Works was there picking up branches and chipping them, and it wasn't their normal time. And they were out there chopping trees out of the roads. I mean, they just kept on going until everything was done. I think there were like 12 PSC&G trucks on Main Street. And it was, like I said, it was just devastating, but we were safe because these men and women took care of us. and made sure individually we were okay. One of the branches, I live on the corner of Oliver, one of the branches from the trees on Mount Holly, Ranco's bypass, which is about 30 feet away, came straight torpedo and went into my house about 8 inches. That's the strength of these winds. Another went into the ground. I couldn't remember planting a tree there until I realized it was a limb that went in 7 or 8 inches. I kept thinking I could remember planting this tree. But I was just so thrilled that almost everyone that works for us was out there on Friday night, and they stayed until everything was wonderful. So they need a triple star, 5 stars from the police, and I hope that you share that with them. You did, because I wrote you an email. But I'm just thrilled. I really am. They're wonderful.
Thank you for your comment.
Oh, excuse me, and the Boy Scouts from West Hampton came and they helped with a hand there. And they always do serving, and that was great. And our, what do you call the firemen that are doing the traffic?
Fire police.
Fire police took care of all the parking, and they didn't get paid. They were enjoying the dinner, but, I mean, like I said, this is just a wonderful place to live, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Gary? Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Great comments. Yeah, awesome. Yay, West Hampton.
Shirley Jacob, 113 Sharpless Boulevard. And the reason I'm here tonight is because I saw this article on my news feed, on my telephone, about this person in the Holly Hills area that's slashing tires and doing things. And, you know, it's terrible, and obviously I don't condone it. But the reason it made me want to come here tonight is because I can relate to whatever this man is feeling. I've lived in West Hampton in my current home for 24 years, and before that, in another home in West Hampton for 8 years. So I've been here for a long time. And I love my home, and really don't want to move until we retire, and don't know what else happens after that. But I do feel like my development has deteriorated, and and the way I responded, obviously not like this person, but I responded by looking elsewhere to live, to selling my home, and moving to a place maybe that has an association that's going to uphold the development and keep the property values high. I don't want to do that, and I'm attempting to try to talk him into doing it. He doesn't want to do it. But it's very upsetting. It is very upsetting. And so I wanted to come here tonight because I know it's easy for us just to focus on the crimes that are happening. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention that there's problems behind these crimes. And there was a statement in this article that said he left a note and warning homeowners that he is not happy. I'm sorry, not there. But it says he's what appears to be retribution for lawns not maintained up to the suspect standards. And I thought that sentence was not. It made it seem like it was it's like his high standards, and that there may not be a problem with what these neighbors are doing. I think there's two things that can be true: that the neighbors are not taking care of their property, and there's a crime going on. And so I just wanted to. So I don't want to fall into the category of complaining because my standards are too high. I want to talk to you about the things that I find to be upsetting. As I walk my dog, I see stumps in people's front yards. They just cut down the trees and left stumps in the yard. There's this thing going on with marketing people, like if they're going to do your roof, or they're going to put in some energy-saving equipment, they put up these, like, they look like, the for sale signs, and they leave it up there for 3 to 6 months advertising. Well, I've done my home, I've redone my roof, and I let them advertise in front of my house while they were doing the project. So you drive through our development, and there's 5 or 6 to 10 of these signs out on all the roads. There's abandoned homes that have not been cared for. There's a landscaping business equipment kept on somebody's front yard and his porch.
Mowers, weed whackers,
And also, that the entrance to our development has been put in the responsibility of the homeowners, and instead of when it was designed, that it would be common ground, so that Public Works could keep it up and keep it looking nice. So,
again, that's the Spring Meadows entrance.
yeah, I understand that. So, one of the signs looks very nice, and the other one, but it shouldn't be the responsibility of the homeowner to maintain it. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and I feel like allowing things to deteriorate like this not only makes it look bad for our development, but also for this township, which I love and have lived here for over 30 years.
Yeah, and it's to the point where it's causing my wife to want to move out, and that's the last thing we want. We love the township. We appreciate all that you do, the taxes and all. And I know that in the ordinances that the township has on its website, I was reviewing some of those, and it became very clear that the township has rules about people taking care of their property, getting stuff, removing stumps, getting rid of tree branches that are encroaching on sidewalks, and not having lawnmowers and tractors and other equipment in people's front yards where people can see it, and properties that are abandoned. And so we're just asking that if you have that ordinance and the township is in charge of policing and enforcing that ordinance, that you just do it and help us keep the properties in nice condition and so on. So I don't want to take any more of your time. However, one other thing. So my property is 113 Sharpness Boulevard, so I've got the new warehouse. And while I'm here, I just wanted to let you know that the berm that was put up between Spring Meadows and the warehouse has been extremely effective in eliminating the noise of the trucks. So I just thought I'd share that with you because we were all concerned about the noise. We weren't sure if the berm was going to stop the noise, and it has. And I thought it would be good for you to know that that was an effective thing to have done, and it worked out very well, and we're really grateful.
Well, thank you for that. Very much. The one comment I'd like to add to what you guys had said, we have a part-time code enforcer that is on. So a lot of our, what's the word that I'm looking for? Infractions usually are either emailed in or called into our municipal clerk, said, hey, listen, here we have a problem, it looks like this or that. So if there's anything that you see that is outside of what, we're trying to do here in West Hampton, feel free to give us a call, at least let us know, and then we can have, we can have our code enforcer go out and take a look and handle it how appropriately.
Okay, so you're okay with us, you're reporting things that you...
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, definitely if they are...
That's the most effective self-policing.
We don't want you to get to the point where you want to move. Like, that's not what we want.
Well, one thing that I want to say is I'm also a resident of Spring Meadows, and I want to apologize because I really haven't seen that. So sometimes, you know how you get trapped in your own little box, and I come like one way and come in, but, you know, just speaking on the other side of it, I live on Bentwood Drive. I really have, and my neighbors, the neighbor I have next to me, that house was vacant for a while, and somebody bought it and redid it and resold it to like a very fair, if not better than fair price. So, that's been what I've seen. Now, what I will do is spend a little bit more time understanding that, you know, you're walking your dog, but maybe spend a little more time walking through the development to take a look at, you know, what's going on a little bit further, like further down, on the, you know, additional streets, et cetera. But, that's my apologies, because I do live in that development, and I have seen, now what I have seen is some of the stumps, but I'll get my stuff removed. I heard you say that. But, but I have seen some of that, and I don't know that we have anything in place that will help to move it. But I can tell you from my point of view, I had the tree removed because the roots were growing toward the house. So I had to have it removed, and I had the stump removed. But you're right, as far as having the tree removed and taking it the extra step is something that, you know, we can definitely look into.
So, thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
She has something else. I see her.
Well, at this point, we're beyond the 3 minutes. Go
That's
ahead.
okay, no.
Pour it on.
Anything to it, but I mean, I just feel like the entrance, to me, that is like, it's saying to people who drive by, this is the place you want to be, or it's a place, I mean, that's their first impression of.
It's talking about curb
Spring
appeal.
Meadows.
Curb appeal.
And it's not a good first impression.
Well, the thing that kind of makes it tough on us, if I may, Mayor, you like when I call you that? So listen, the thing that's kind of tough on us is that, again, it's the way that the development was built. It's, so even, you know, if you notice, one of the things that has been a complaint previously is that, you know, the one sign on the one entrance looked way better than the sign on the other entrance. And so it's tough to put the township in a position where we even can go and upgrade the sign, because then we're looking at upgrading signs all over West Hampton. So we have tried to put ourselves in a position where, you know, we not only want to be accountable, but we want to make it attractive for, you know, not only the people who live there now, but people who want to live there in the future, right? So, it is something that we have put our energies into and that we have discussed as a committee previously. So I don't want you guys to think that, you know, it's going unheard, or that it hasn't been something that has had our energy behind it. So,
Okay, thank you.
make sense?
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Microphone. And the podium, Derek Brown, 138 Winstead. I did go to the Willingboro MUA. It was on Wednesday, April 17th. And I'll raise this point with you. They had a resolution. I'll just sort of read here from the agenda. You can see it, kind of mark it up. It was 2019 4-17-5, and I'm going to just quote, authorizing RFP for a professional company to provide sewer line warranty program to the residents of Willingboro. So when it came time for that to be discussed, here's the preamble. So that's in the resolution, and it said, quote, to the residents of Willingboro. So essentially what this is there's only just a handful of these insurance companies that are willing to underwrite a premium policy to provide, if there's necessary repairs to the sewer street, I guess, to where your home water line is. Very expensive, apparently, there's something going wrong with it. So, during the public comment portion, I'm the only one from West Hampton that goes. So I become sort of the de facto spokesperson for the township. So I'm happy to do that to some degree, but they kind of look at me as someone who has some authority, and unfortunately I'm a nobody, right?
That's not true.
That's not true.
That is not true.
Well,
You're not.
so I did ask, I said, you know, I want to be very clear, because there's a few of us that are the ratepayers that do pay into that, and, you know, our service provider. I said, my concern was the preamble, right? You know, if it's not writing, then I am concerned about it. So, obviously, we want to make sure that West Hampton residents are included. They do decide to move forward with this at some point. So, I said, really, we kind of need to bring it up with you guys, but then they kind of referred us to talk to Mr. Brady, so I don't know if you've heard from them or not. Okay, he's shaking his head no. So, I believe it in your capable hands. They did table it, there was some discussion around it, my guess is they may try to resurrect it at some point, because apparently there is some interest to have this kind of insurance available. It's optional, I guess, if you want to purchase it or not, so I just thought I'd mention that.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought Committeeman Henley was supposed to go to that meeting as well. Didn't you say you were going to?
I did talk about going to the meeting, but John is the water professional. I thought would be able to be a little bit better and more hands-on.
Is there any other comment?
Yeah.
That's fine. Just state your name and your address.
James Missoula from Bloomington, Greenwich. So, along the lines of what she said, right when you pulled from my house at Tallowood, which we both did through there, I chopped some stuff down the other day. And I actually came here tonight to talk about his Parker incident, came by the house, and us very the long story, and I was going to explain to him that I went back and forth a couple of years ago through email with the township, and that's the third or fourth time I've had to manage that situation that's growing there, and putting him on the curb is asking for potential accident to happen right there, because that's where drainage comes up in there. So it just kills visibility both ways, even more than it already is. So that's why I pulled him off the street, put what I did. So that was, what like I said, I was talking about Parker, but yeah, along the same lines, that intersection, it's bad, and I've lived on that intersection for 15 years, so I guess I'm the resident expert, right, on the corner, and maybe it's having kids and getting a little older, I keep my head on a swivel for myself, but, now that I have kids, like I said, maybe the perspective has changed, and it's kind of been more obvious to me how bad that intersection is, and I've called. I've talked to some of the police officers in the area, other residents, and we've all kind of got the same tagline of, well, you can't radar on that corner. Totally get that. But, we're talking about not one single speed limit sign. When you come off of Wood Lane and go down Greenwich, when you hook the right on Tallowood, there's not one single speed limit sign anywhere going that way. Coming down Tallowood towards Greenwich, one speed limit sign. And as soon as you come off of Greenwich Focus on Tallowood, when you get to the intersection, it's got to a point where, and it's not the one kid that lives in the neighborhood that's up and down, it's lots of kids. It's the cop I saw from Atlantic City earlier today. It was the Burlington County recycling truck on Friday. It was the guy down the road. It was the kid down the road. It was the people, it's kind of a little bit of everybody, so it's hard to say, but it's a daily thing, and not once in a while.
No, I know you.
Daily. And I actually care about the township so much. I had my best friend who lived across the street. He's struggling to back out of his driveway. It's literally to a point where people are coming down the center because you have such good visibility to your left coming down Tallowood that you can just kind of lean back, get to the center of the street, and then just hook that right, almost not stopping. Barely pumping the brakes. And I probably have 20 speeding tickets in my life, so I'm not trying to just, say that I'm the same. However, I use common sense, and when I'm driving through a neighborhood I don't know, and it's winding, and there's cars on both sides, I just try to apply general common sense, and it's obviously not happening. I got FedEx going this way, and the UPS truck going this way, and someone else coming this way that's not going to stop. It's a liability for the township. Like I said, I keep my head on the swivel. I have a laptop, and where's my kids going to walk out front, but, I hope to see something done. Street light, sign, something. You can't get everything in one day, but something that, to step us up.
Yeah.
And the streets falling.
Yeah, this is something that we had talked about before.
The department have been working together regarding the traffic situation, speeding down Holly Lane and Tallowood specifically. There's a lot of issues there. This been like that for years. So if you haven't been on Holly Lane in the last 24 hours, we ended up with a new street sign there with a speed limit.
Yep,
thing.
on Holly Lane.
It's a demo that we have right now, and it's designed, we've been out there a few times, it's designed to slow the speeders down. So we're starting with that, and it's something that we can manually move to another street. If your street is next, then we're going to move on the west side of the town and do that. Does that solve the problem? Absolutely no way. When I was on the road, I used to run radar right at that corner, and I would observe exactly what you're saying. I totally understand it. I'll talk to Parker again about the sight lines. We can figure something out with that. There's some other measures that I know Parker was looking at regarding maybe some temporary, speed bumps, something along those lines, something to get the word out. It's whenever the weather starts to change, right? When all these kids are out and everything, but we want to try to address it before that. So we hear your concern, and we're, very, very concerned with ourselves.
Yeah.
I understand, and I'm not, it's not the kind of trying to beat myself, but I get it. But like I said, it's not 2 weeks, it's not 2 years, it's not, I've been there for 2 years. So I like to have a grasp on how it's worked. And I understand you can't stop everything and with the radar, but I would think start slow. Speed limit, that's an entrance, like she was saying. That was like, when we come down Talbot, so many people cut through there. Like, I'm trying to represent the township and keep my property nice, and a lot of the other people do right there specifically. They're kind of the victims of that right turn, but when we pull up there should be like a sign saying children, or a park right here, entrance. There's more dog waste signs than anything else. It's like, don't poop here, but go 65. So that's just something easy.
Yeah, last year, I believe I spoke to your wife.
I appreciate what you were saying. I hope.
I think I spoke to your wife, Summer, right? She had brought it up because, again, every time it gets brought up when the kids are out playing, and Holly Hills, I know a lot of people just cut through from Tallowood to Greenwich, and they don't stop. I know Parker had looked into some signs. We want to consider, there's another area on the four-way stop closer to maybe a four-way stop. I know on Sharpless, Parker was looking into removable speed bumps because, at the end of the day, we want our kids to be safe, and the little bit of a speed bump or something like that is a small inconvenience compared to somebody getting hit from people speeding.
Well, I give you potential solutions, and everything's kind of money, it comes back to money, but that corner could, a street light and a sign that just says children. I'll pay for it. I'll buy the sign myself.
I think, and the other thing I was going to mention was any brush we have, it goes out on the first Monday of every month. So sometimes if somebody puts it out on the second Monday of the month or the third Monday of the month, brush might sit around and linger for a few weeks. But I spoke to Parker. I had a couple people call me about it. They were a little bit behind. We just had a really bad storm with the high winds that knocked a lot down. So they are going to be out and about starting yesterday. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see the traffic on Rancover Road and more and more, and people are in the times and hours and people to work, and they cut through.
Is it 25 mile an hour though? Like if you come up with Greenwich to get from Talbot, is that supposed to be 25?
It's 25, and all the streets in West Hampton are 25, with the exception of Holly Lane, and with the exception of Whitlow Drive is 15 because of how narrow it is. So every other street.
So, if you, think about it, coming off Talbot or Wood Lane Road, and you make that, you go straight, and you hook a little left, and then you come up to a complete curve right there. That should be 25 miles.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it should be. No, I'm saying that the street itself is 25.
Okay. That's something that should be considered too. You're talking about a narrow space here, on those roads, so you get to Tallowood, and when you get to Tallowood, you literally have from that wall to that wall, people, there's almost like 400-yard straightaway before you hook that little right. It's...
Yeah, we don't want people utilizing the streets of West Hampton for their own personal speed.
I've had people hit cars in front of my house because they, didn't have to stop too fast.
So, thank you for your comment.
All right. Could I just get your name and your address? I missed it.
James Pastor, Pastor.
Thanks. I missed it.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you. Is there any other comment? There being no other comment, close to the public. Comment from committee members.
First, I have a comment.
I just want to thank the residents for coming out and all their comments. I want to thank for the new hire, police officer that we have. My prayers go out to, our, sudden passing of, Karen, and her family. It's very sad for that to happen. I just want everybody to get home safely, and thank you for coming out.
I would just like to second pretty much everything Tony said and apologize for my appearance. I got a little hung up at work today with some issues that were unexpected, so I didn't get home in time to get changed into the appropriate attire. But thank you, everybody, for coming out, and I appreciate all the comments and interactions we have with the public. Thank you.
Should I go next? Just a few things I want to cover. Again, the township has suffered a loss, so absolutely my prayers go out to the family members, but not only the family members, but the co-workers who, we spend 8 hours with every day. It's more like family, as time goes on. And lastly, what I wanted to say is I appreciate, the residents that came out to voice their concerns. I don't want anyone to think that it's a bother, it's an issue. Like, we're here because, the residents put us here and voted us here. Although it's a responsibility that seems to be a bit much at times, it's still a responsibility nonetheless. So I definitely appreciate it, and that's how things get done. I mean, I had a resident talk to me about something in Spring Meadows before, and I was able to have a conversation, with our public works, and they explained to me like, oh, we're in the midst of doing that. We'll have it done in a month, in which I was able to go back to the resident. But sometimes I understand that residents just want to know when it's going to happen. So for that, again, the feedback, I definitely appreciate it. I definitely, and sir, I, as far as the speed limit, I get it. I have 2 kids and they're outside playing basketball and someone zooms by. I'm like, that's something that we got to make a change. So again, you're not by yourself voicing your concerns. The concern of all of us up here have children. So we definitely understand it. And lastly, I'd like to thank, our department heads, but, the chief is here all the time. And did he come in handy today when we needed him to speak up and tell us a little bit more about what's going on? Because honestly, I didn't know that. So I'm glad that he was here to be able to do that. And Jim and solicitor and just, the rest of my team members up here. Thanks. It's been an eventful day. After you, John.
Well, tonight was a very special meeting. In case you missed it, that proclamation in the beginning, we honored someone who dedicated their life to community service. And then 5 minutes later, we swore in a new police officer who is just beginning his career in serving the community. And just to see that's how it works, and that's what makes our community so wonderful, that we have this evolution that continues. I would also like to thank the residents that came out to the budget meetings. There was at least one at every meeting. And the budget was a monumental task. I want to thank the department heads who participated. I want to thank the CFO. And most of all, I want to thank our new township administrator, Jim Brady, who literally he took the job and then a couple weeks later said, okay, now I have to build a budget. So it was a monumental task and you did a fantastic job, and I really can't thank you enough. And finally, I want to thank the residents who came out tonight. This meeting, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. You can complain to your husband, you can take to social media, or you can show up and talk to us so that we know what the issues are and that we can help you find solutions. If we can't solve it, we can help you find solutions. So that's exactly what you need to do. And now you know that, no, you are not doing anything wrong by calling a code enforcer. You're protecting your property and your property value, and you have rights. So you need to do that. And I know that Greenwich, and I know there's a handmade sign out there I saw the other day. It's not on your property, but I saw it, and it is a very dangerous intersection. What I never took notice of was the lack of the speed limit sign, because I never come in from Wood Lane. I would either come the opposite way from like by the pool. So that is something that I am going to take that way home tonight, to take notice that there is no sign. And I know you said you missed Parker with regard to the brush. Parker's really good about getting back out to the residents, so if you didn't get back out, you thought you were going to see him, he will come out. He really is pretty good at showing up, even off, and Nancy. Yeah, so you said I'll save him a trip, but reach out to him.
Yeah, I'd like to, bring up the fact to keep the Dunphy and Womack family in your prayers. Congrats to our new officer, Delavella. I heard that he's a pretty good guy, pretty good cop too. So we're excited about that. Residents, thanks for coming out. Not everybody takes the time out of the day to come up here and watch us sit up here and talk. So we appreciate it. Any criticism, constructive criticism, we appreciate it. Sometimes we can help, sometimes we can't, but just know that this is definitely a forum where you can bring something up, and we'd like to offer the solutions that we can to the issues that we can solve. Linda had brought up a really good point, and honestly, I overlooked it as well. I always thank our department heads, and I do think that Jim definitely goes above and beyond, and I forget about it because he makes the job so seamless and smooth. So I definitely I'd like to second that and thank you, on handling the budget, making it smooth, and helping us transition to your new role. So, other than that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
So,